Welcome all on another episode from Dwellings Group. We are coming back again to discuss about Australian property market and how it's going along with the COVID-19 lockdown situation, and also what we should be looking at if someone looking to invest in property market. There are lots of questions that we are going to discuss all these things with a expert panel, and we have today in the studio Director Residential Sales from Colliers International, Ben Iboan, and we have Jenny from Colliers International, Iboan. She is doing client relationships at Colliers, and also we have Theekshana, Director from Dwellings Group for the today's discussion. And so it's an interesting time that I would start with Ben. Ben, now we have gone through a lockdown period. The economy has slowed down. In Australia, we never had a full lockdown, which is good. Things are still moving, but people are still buying in this market. And I just wanted to get your viewpoint on people. If someone's still thinking about buying a property and investing in property market, is still a good time? Are we people still buying? And what are your opinion on especially Melbourne apartment and property market at this time?
Well, Sanjika, I think people are still buying. That's the simple answer to the question.
Yeah.
But people are finding a way and have been very agile in the way that they've been able to look for property. People still believe in property as an investment vehicle. They understand that as opposed to the share market, for instance, it might stand this type of the virus situation or other troubles in the economy, that might stand the test of time rather better than the share market might. And what we've seen is still strong sales, and particularly, obviously, for Colliers, we focus on the off-the-plan type of property that's available for sale, but we're seeing strong numbers throughout.
That is great. And I think, Ben, now people still looking at it. Obviously, sales are going ahead, but people wants to know, whether there are advantages, if there are bargains in the market when you're investing in a property market, whether the growth potential are still there in this market. And now today we are talking about a special project as well, Iconic, which is been released recently. And when someone looking at an apartment, can you talk about, give us a rundown on this Iconic project and why Iconic in this market?
Well, maybe, but yeah, sure, certainly. So why Iconic? Iconic is strategically located very close to the CBD. In Colliers as a business, we believe in the CBD as a market and have done for a number of years, and we're the market leader in the CBD. The CBD market now we're basically at a fully built out scenario where there's very little opportunity to develop any sites for residential purposes within the CBD. We've seen the rise of these, what we call super towers, with 80, 90 level towers in the CBD. The room or the ability for developers to build towers like that has passed. So for a variety of reasons, the strength of the office market has been so strong that we've lost opportunities where developers have sold sites that were earmarked for residential towers. They're now going to be offices. Also, with planning restrictions and the restrictions on height through plot ratio restrictions down to 1:18 means that it's no longer feasible to build these big towers in the CBD for developers to get the money, the return on them. So those days are gone. So Colliers as a business, we've had to really decide and give advice to our clients, the developer clients, where is the best place to develop, and for they're in the market to make money just as any property investor is, and the same principles apply to a person who's buying a single apartment, buying in the best location, buying the best product, so that, and if you're an investor in an apartment market, if you're going to buy an apartment, you want it to be able to be in a position where it's going to be attractive to tenants, to people who rent. And there are a growing number of people who rent for life, and that's just a fact of life. That's the situation we're in. And really, where we've got with Iconic, we're nestled only a couple of kilometres away from the CBD, a couple of kilometres to Port Melbourne Beach. We've got the surrounding suburbs of Port Melbourne and South Melbourne with all the amenity there, the Bay Street shops, the South Melbourne market, all the restaurants and the cafes and bars and everything there, all the amenity, parkland, run down to the beach, 109 light rail, only a couple of stops into the Crown Casino precinct, another stop into Collins Street. It's really about what is there for the end user as well. These developments that we're a part of, we are understanding of the fact that it's got to be built for the end user in mind. This isn't a small project, it's a large project with close to 800, 900 apartments, but the amount of amenity there for the end user, whether it's an owner-occupier, and we're seeing a lot of owner-occupier buyers in there as well, but for a renter as well, they still need to be able to enjoy living at this place, because that means that it's going to be a stronger investment prospect for the investor.
And let's talk to Jenny, and Jenny been working with us from Dwellings Group, and Colliers has a very long relationship. We've been helping our overseas clients buying apartments in Melbourne. Colliers been offering one of the goods, great products from Melbourne for our clients. When compared to the rest of the projects, Iconic, can you give us a rundown on the recent number of sale figures, this many apartments sold, this many clients, overseas clients still buying? Can you give us some information about that, so that will help our viewers to get an idea of how the apartment market is still moving?
I think from my experience, in the past couple of weeks, the market has been picked up, especially with the loosening of the restrictions since the lockdown. And, even I was working in the office last Sunday to help some of our partner agents with webinars and purchases appointments. So we've achieved really reasonable success for our Iconic, which we did over 120 sales within about 4 weeks' time.
120 sales during the lockdown period.
That's right.
That is a good number. It's a great number.
And 70 mil of the stock. It's very good. It's been a very successful project.
And how's the overseas buyers, FIRB, Foreign Investment Review Board approved clients buying here in these situations? You have seen an increase of that as well?
They've still been strong. The numbers of foreign buyers are still strong, but the local market as well. Because, again, South Melbourne, Port Melbourne, these are areas where the local market like to go, they like to invest, they like to live there. And so we've seen strong demand from local investors as well as owner-occupiers, as I said. But the overseas market is still there.
And Ben, I think this project is a mixed development with retail component as well as a 5-star hotel next to that, right?
Yeah, correct. So there'll be a 5-star hotel as well as a full-line 1,700 square metre supermarket,
right,
with restaurants and other retail.
And with this project, what sort of incentives you offer for the clients?
Well, there's a package of incentives that's on offer at the moment. So so that to enable us to get to achieve enough pre-sales to get the project out of the ground, the developer has, as we do, we believe in the project as a location where renters are going to want to live. So one of the things that we're offering at the moment is a rental guarantee. At this stage of the project, it won't last forever, but at this stage, any 1-bedroom or 1-bedroom plus study purchaser will be able to have a rental guarantee there for either 2 years at 6%, or 3 years at 5.5%.
Right.
And then the 2-bedroom apartments, they come with a rental guarantee of 5% for 18 months.
Right.
All of those apartments, whether it be a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, or a 3-bedroom, will also come with a furniture pack, full furniture pack, so you can let your apartment out immediately upon settlement, as well as blinds and when I say furniture pack, I mean the full works. So fridge, freezer, washing machine, dryer.
Which means you can move in straight away.
Correct.
Yeah.
Including electricals.
Yes, including electricals.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Right. And now, if you look at the timeline, what is the project as of now? What's the status of the project, and what timelines we are looking at the completion?
Well, so we literally launched at the beginning of May, and like Jenny said, we've achieved over $70 million worth of sales in that period. So it's a huge success. It's exceeded our expectations, given the current climate. We're looking at probably, I think it's late 2022, Jenny, for where we'd start settlement. Of stage 1.
Okay. And on top of those incentives, I think we are proud to announce that you are giving us more benefits, more incentives that we can offer to our Sri Lankan clients. So give us a call. Our numbers are on our website dwellingsgroup.com.au, and we can organize those incentives, special rebates. Thanks, Ben, organizing this kind of incentives for people buying for property as an investment. And when we go back to the Melbourne market, and now some we just want to educate our clients. You put a 10% down, and if you don't build the project,
Yep.
have their deposits safeguarded, and what are the mechanisms? Is it on a trust account? Can you give us a rundown on that?
No, that's a good question. The Melbourne, one of the things that makes Victoria, Australia, but Victoria in particular, a very safe place for investment from overseas is the transparency and the security that any deposit monies, they are held in the vendor's solicitor's trust account.
So that means if the vendor doesn't complete the project, the investor's 10% will be returned.
Yeah, correct. But what I would say about this developer is that they've never started a project that they haven't completed and delivered.
Yes.
And they're a local developer. They've got a very strong reputation, absolutely across every detail in the project. They're very good to deal with. And I've got every confidence that this project will be not just out of the ground very soon, but will be completed on time.
And being one of the largest property sales company, Colliers International, you are not selecting developers without proper background study, I believe. So
Correct,
so
yes.
no one else cannot come to Colliers and give their project to sell.
No, that's right. I think we turn away more work than we take on, I think. But no, look, that our corporation are great to deal with. They deliver a good project. I work with a number of parties and who have worked with them before, and anyone who I've asked to come on board, we're only too happy to come and work with our corp again. They've only got good things to say about them.
Great. And Jenny, I would like to know the details of different apartments, like what sort of sizes compared to resident. I know that this project have some relatively large apartments.
That's right.
For the
Also
same price.
some of the facilities available.
Yeah,
facilities
exactly.
available.
So our Iconic, we comply the better apartment design standards. So for one bedrooms, it's all over 50 square meter according to the guideline. And we also have at least 9 to 9.5 square meter of the balcony. So for one bedder, we start about 60 square meter.
Right.
So they're very livable
Right.
compared with some of the older investment stocks we have in CBD, which is, for one bedder could be 30 or 40 square meter, which is not that livable for the owner occupiers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But those are sort of more of a student accommodation type of.
Yeah.
This is for a family or
more for
couple.
local. Yeah.
Correct.
Even for, I think, own occupiers, if they're going
That's
for 2
exactly.
bedrooms,
Yeah.
they are over 80 square meters, and 3 bedrooms are about 110
Yeah,
square
over
meters.
100. Yeah,
That is
120 square meter
Well,
with
well-
large balcony.
Correct. And every apartment comes with a balcony, or?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
every
they do.
apartment comes with balcony.
Correct. No, that's great.
Yeah.
And can you tell us how's your pricing starts? Single bedders, 2 bedders, 3 bedders.
Yeah.
What are the starting points?
Yeah. So for one bedroom, that's starting about 500K.
Right.
2 bedroom, you have just
just
over.
just correct. On that 500K, you still get a
all
furniture
the
package, the
incentives.
blinds, and the other incentives on top of that. You're
That's
getting
right.
that. Perfect.
That's right. Very good incentive, I would say. Probably one
It's
of
a
the
good time
best
to buy.
incentive we had in our Colliers project.
And I mean, the rental guarantee is a peace of mind for an investor.
That's right.
Who's investing on
It is,
apartment market.
and the way that our corporation look at it is that they trust in the rents. They trust in the way that we've priced it,
Yeah.
and they trust in the way that the market will accept it and be a place that people will want to live. So the investment side of it stacks up.
So Ben and Jenny, it's been very informative for our viewers. There are a lot of other things to talk, but unfortunately time is running out. But I just want to highlight one more thing, and you said this is also qualifies for self-managed super funds purchases, which is a great thing that we will be coming back on another episode to talk about how you can buy a property from a self-managed super fund. If you pass 60 years old, if you're selling, no CGT required to pay, and the rental income is tax-free. Lot of things that we will talk about that, and the Iconic, this is also qualify for that, because certain properties only qualify for self-managed super fund purchases as well. So we will come back on another episode to talk about that. And Ben and Jenny, thank you so much coming along today and giving this valuable information for our viewers. And we'll be in touch with our viewers' questions and clarifications in the future. Thank you so much. Thanks again.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sanjeev. Thanks.